So now I can actually see some people's face. I can see how I need to brighten it up. We're good. We're good. Um, yeah. Yeah. All right.
Oh my God. Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't make this.
No, I did. All right, so we got the people.
Woo!
We're gonna get
Trying to
started.
be-
This little thing is kind of like aggravating.
Trying to get me drunk. All right.
All right, so I am happy to have these wonderful people here with me today. Before we get started, I forgot to teach them the welcome song, so I'm going to do it without them. I'm sorry, guys. We was doing too much. We was out having a good time as a family, and we just forgot to do it. So I'm gonna do it real quick, and then I'm gonna introduce myself, and we're gonna have a good time. So, greet somebody in your own way. Tell them how you're feeling, and just say hey. We can talk it out together, so your feelings change. Everybody smile, everybody smile. I love you. All right. You want a welcome song? Come on, welcome song.
Hey.
Welcome song.
Come on, welcome song. All right, so here we go. I'm going to put this on the big screen so I can see everybody talk and jump. And put this on mute. So my name is Dr. Kreative. Thank you guys for coming out. This is a random show. We was having like really good conversation, and we thought that maybe better to get some of you guys' opinions and views, or even share some of your stories about this topic. This is a very serious topic. I can't guarantee how it's going to turn out. I cannot guarantee how I'm going to be able to take it. I'm already emotional, and I've been kind of quiet. I think before starting, you guys have noticed this is a very touching topic. We're talking about absentee fathers, and I'm blessed to be with my brother today, Reggie. For those of you guys who don't know, my name is Reggie as well. There's so many of us.
To be continued.
To be continued, right. So this is also Reggie. And I want him to introduce himself and where you're from and things like that, what you do, and then I'm going to introduce my beautiful cousin.
Reginald Austin, firstborn, my brother right behind me. Born in Tokyo, Japan, raised in Tampa, Florida. I currently reside in Tennessee. I'm in the hospitality field. I'm married, no kids, and a dog. I'm happy to be here today.
Okay, that's my brother Reggie. And to my beautiful left, this is my cousin Lovestein. However she wants to say it. I'll call her grandmother Lovestein. Eason, and she is one of my favorite cousins. And I'm so happy she took the opportunity to come speak with me. Hey! Yo! I was not going there. I was not going there.
Hey girl, hey.
So she went there.
Petty Tuesday.
So I want you to introduce yourself, where you're from, and what you do.
I mean, I'm from North Carolina. I was raised in Massachusetts, and now I'm in Georgia. That's all I got.
All right, wonderful. All right, so we wanted to start this live off, just to let you know where we're going. We will be talking about some of our emotions about growing up without fathers, and how that impacted our upbringing, and hopefully the conversation helps mothers and fathers to not fall into traces of other parents that have really kind of molded and hindered a little bit of growth for individuals like ourselves. But there is a bright side, which we'll get to at the end of the day, at the end of this conversation. So we have a hour, and we're gonna make it do. But first, I want to start with this beautiful poem called "Because of Your Lies" by my cousin Love, and she's going to she can take it over from here and share a little bit where it come from.
This is basically to the point I had many mixed emotions of how I felt and feel without growing up with my father in a picture. So I wrote a poem. All right. Well, you definitely set the pattern right, Ricky. The first man to show me disappointment, hurt, pain, shame. You taught me what it means to feel lost, lonely, fear, and blame. And low self-esteem has lived in my life and heart since I've learned who you were and what you were meant to be. You know, my father, the first man to teach me beauty, the example and foundation of true love, and the first who should have told me I was pretty. In and out of my life was the rhythm you set. And because of that, I suffered so many things. Since I never had a true example, I settled for any and everything. And incomplete is what I felt, and carbon copies of you was what I was dealt. This one, the one, yes, he filled my life with so many promises of happiness and joy, and I was so excited at finally filling that void that you left when you decided not to be a man, for me at least. But you had no problem getting remarried and taking on new responsibilities, and you forgot all about me at first and turned your back and went on with your new life, with your new kids and your new wife. Meanwhile, I needed you, and you never for once looked to care. I shed so many tears for years just hoping that one day you would be there, but he came, got what he wanted, and disappeared. Again, back to that rhythm. Are you ever going to change that? Because you haven't yet. And because of it, I had to dig real deep inside me, Lover's Teen Shakasha E, to find my dignity and pride, so no more of my insides will die because of your lies.
Ooh.
Truth. Right. Snap. Times 10.
I mean, it was really emotional because I grew up without my father in my life. As a young girl, I can remember back to being a young girl, you just want that attention. You want your father. You want to know why he's not there. Where is he at? You see the girls going to their father-daughter dances, and you just see other people's fathers in the picture, and you wonder, like, why wasn't I good enough for you to stick around? Or you just have so many questions. And then it to me, if you're gonna stay absent, stay absent. You know what I mean? But the in and out and just acting like, okay, you gave 2 seconds of your time, but what about the 30-something more years that you didn't give? You know what I mean? And for that, I had to really learn how to let go of the bitterness,
Hey, Irvin.
that I had.
That's Tara's father. Go ahead.
Okay. I had to learn to let that bitterness go for myself, not for my sperm donor. And I call him my sperm donor because he's never been a father for me. I can't speak, I hear that he's a pastor now, and I hope that he is, the other children have a better relationship with him than I do, but I never, got to have that for myself. And I don't mean to take it over, but
No,
I was
we
just,
had an entire
I was
hour.
just,
Your perspective.
I was just expressing how that made me feel. And that's all I got because I don't want to cry.
It's gonna happen. But the thing about it is, the reason why I started these lives were for me personally to get things off my chest. And to really, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff, and this is a major issue that I still deal with. I'm 33 years old. Would you like to share it on your end?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, well, if y'all don't know, Reggie and I are a year apart, so same minute created us. But different mother. But I mean, for me, it didn't come until I got right around the double digits in age, 8 or 9, when I started to question, this side of my family, where I came from. And thankfully, because of my grandmother, my sperm donor's mother, who, sent letters to me, and that's how I ended up connecting with this side of my family. That's the only way, is because, my grandmother kept in contact.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I have a stepfather who's been there, and he's not my stepfather. That's my dad. Like,
Right.
He's been there since I was 3 years old. That's my dad. He's taking care of me, so I don't give a shit what nobody gotta say. That is my dad. I have love for the man that gave us life. I do. But again, I don't really know him. I 14 is when I met y'all.
Yeah.
And spend the holidays with you guys, and then I decided when I graduated high school, that was where I wanted to be. Was with my outside of my family.
What was your purpose for doing that?
To get to know my father.
Did that happen?
Not like I wanted it to. No.
Okay.
And we lived in the same house.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Sadly, yes, same house, and didn't see him much. It was unfortunate. I mean, we were together around other people, but when we,
Oh, the illusion.
yeah, it was a
It's like a-
factor.
I had something like that happen with the person that I call my spawn girl or whatever. I feel like the only time that I was that man's son was at Thanksgiving and Christmas, because those were the only times that I seen him.
Mhm.
Mind you, the same guy who's your father is my father, and I lived 3 blocks from him all my life.
And I said, you get the same treatment. Living in the same city. And
Absolutely.
I know for you, I know that was a lot harder because he was right there with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it really sucks, and it, like I said, it's so many things that are deeply rooted because of it, and it's like, we're in our 30s now, but it's for me, I know we discussed this, like, I'm like, how do I feel right now? I know what not to do with my kids, because, again, he wasn't there, he didn't make too much of an effort, even when I was, in his face, and, he did things for his other children, which, again, that's what's up, but, it's like, it wasn't equal opportunity, and it's unfortunate, and, and I feel like, I suffered, you suffered because of that, and not for no reason, not many phone calls, not many visits, things like that, and it's just, I feel like if I had more of that would have definitely changed a lot of things for me, you know what I'm saying, so, it's a hurtful thing, but, like I said, it was a life lesson for me, and I know you said it for you too, that I know when I'm ready to have my children, regardless of what happens, between my partner and I, we, split up, whatever, doesn't matter. The kids are not going to be affected. They're always going to know that they have 2 parents who love them and care about them. So, yeah, that's where I am right now.
And this is not to bash our father.
Not at all. Not at all.
So I know that when he sees this, he's going to feel so attacked and, oh my God, how could they do that? We don't know you, so I don't have no allegiance to you. So at the end of the day, this is our feelings.
Yeah.
This is reality. So,
And when will you take the responsibility on your end instead of always making it about yourself? And as a grown person, because we're all adults now, there comes a time in your life where you have to do some self-reflection and say, hey, I wasn't the greatest here in this area. What can I do to better that now, instead of always victimizing yourself and making it seem like everybody's trying to attack you, and that's not the case.
Here's the thing, we're open to relationship. I'm open to texting, calling, hanging out, whatever you want to do. I'm grown. I forgave that guy when I was 21 years old. I forgave him because he had other life issues. That's none of our business, but he had other life issues going on, and I had to forgive him so that I was able to move forward. I became a young dad at the age of 19, and it was a struggle for me to figure out how to be a dad, because I've always had my mother as my father, or I had my granddad as my father. And my grandfather was an older man, and all I can get is like the old church traditions. I didn't really get the birds and the bees conversation I had with my auntie Lisa. I didn't really get, the first conversation about my first girlfriend with my dad. I've never had that conversation. So I've always had to figure out how to find the father figure lessons out of other people, and I've never received that. And what hurts me, both of you guys said it, hey Neen, you honestly can talk to this too. What hurts me through it all is you do know how to be a father, because you have children who love you so much. Our siblings love this guy with all their heart. Go to bat for him, see him all the time. You go over to this guy's house, their pictures is everywhere. We're nowhere to be found. And what that does for a person, even though I'm 33 years old, it still affects me. And so we were talking earlier, and I was getting kind of emotional. I was just like, this is a lot to handle. It's good to reconnect with my brother because I haven't seen him in a few years. But the common denominator is I asked him, said, hey, are you ever going to forgive your dad? And he told me that he is grown. There's nothing that he needs to forgive. He's learned his lesson. His lesson was, which was the same thing as mine, how not to be. Though that is a good thing to be, to know how not to be, it shouldn't have to be. Does that make sense? I shouldn't have to say I've learned how not to be a bad dad. It should be I learned how to be a good dad for my father. And so I have a child who is 12 years old, and I can't believe I'm in a situation that the stereotype black man goes through, where it's black man, black chick, baby mama type of figure, and there's no communication between the two. And my biggest struggle is trying to overachieve to show my son that I love him because of what happened. And I don't know sometimes as a dad, like, am I doing too much? Like, am I pressuring or trying to teach me like lessons for him? Am I not doing enough, or am I doing too much to the point where it's pushing him away? He's in a situation where he has a stepfather as well. And I recognize him, thank you for being a stepdad to my child, whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm still his dad. And
who wants to be in his life.
Right.
Who is active, and I've done plenty of things. For those who know me, I don't need to go into detail. I try my hardest to be as active as I can, but it's hard to try to be active when you don't have cooperation on the other end. And so I'm dealing with that right now, and I constantly hear people, because what scares me is that I get in places where I'm like, well, maybe I'll just wait for him to turn 16 and then he'll love me. Or maybe I'll wait until he's 18 and he's out of the house, and then I can create a relationship with my son, because, oh God, no. Maybe when he turns 18, I'll find a way to be active, because my biggest fear is to end up like Reggie. That's my biggest fear, because that is my biggest thing is to never end up like him, period. So I try to think of ways to be the best dad that I can be, but it's hard because I never had like a role model to show me that stuff. So it's always been, we talked about this earlier too, it's always been like really, really hard. So
struggle, you don't know, you like you say, you don't know if you're doing too much, not enough, etc. But like for you, like I told you, for what you do, you want to be active, and in what capacity that, whatever that is, you do that. You're doing a whole hell of a lot more than what was given to you. I my hat's off to you for that. So don't beat yourself up on what you feel you haven't done, because the fact that you want to be married, son. I mean, it's unfortunate. Your situation is unfortunate. It's two different situations going on, and your son is caught in the middle. So don't feel like you're following the same path, because you're not. Because when your son was with you, you know what it was when he was with you. It was great.
But you know what really sucks is, I'll be in a predicament where people hear and see what they want to see. Mm-hmm. And I'm not open to this is very
candid.
And I don't tell people shit. I don't tell nothing. So, people hear what they hear from the other end, and this paints me. I have so many of my friends come to me just the other day. My friend was like, yo, I heard what's going on between you and, mind you, I haven't talked to this person in like 3 years. I spoke to homegirl, and she was telling me what's going on between y'all. Is everything okay? And then she started going on this list of lies that I've just painted, lies about me raising my son and things that happened. And I'm just sitting there like, I hope you're a friend enough to know that that's. She's like, Malachi, I knew that wasn't real. But I thank God that my character proves more than anything. But what she was painting me out was to be the identical twin of what our father looked like, and that broke me all the way down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But you know what? It's for you. You gotta hold on to. You know what's what. You know what it is, and honestly, no matter what people say, what other people do, what matters is your actions. Everybody don't have to know your business. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to know what you do for your son, know what you don't do. And you know what's up.
So here's the other end of it all. Can you read some comments? I probably not paying attention. Here's the other end of it all. Like, I look at
remains the same, you will never be in the wrong.
See, Artie, you've been in a situation like what's so sad in my community is that my cousin Artie's been there, my cousin Nina's been there, my sister Tara has been there. Hey mom, I see that you're watching. A lot of my cousins and family members are in predicaments where they had to be raised by their mom, and then that was all that you had. You know what I'm saying? And though I'm grateful for my mom, there's only so much that my mother could do. You know what I'm saying? And I was never raised in a house where my mom had a consistent man. You know what I'm saying? So I never really, there's one guy, Robert, who was around the longest, and he was cool, but he just showed me how to provide, and that's something my mom taught us to do, period. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So my thing is, okay, that's what I was gonna say. So when I got to a place where I'm just like, well, maybe I'll just wait 18 until he's 18 or whatever, I kind of understood what it felt like to be a dead, to how some men, not all, how some men can become deadbeat dads. Because if you don't have that relationship with the mom and the mom is being petty, robbing you blind. You know what I'm saying? If you have, the state don't give a fuck about a man and their responsibilities, what they have to do. All they want is your money. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a situation like that, you know what I'm saying? I can see how some, and this is not giving excuses to all men, this is just have a candid conversation, right?
Right.
I can see how that can allow somebody to be like, well, fuck it, I'm done. Like, I'm good. I'll wait until he wants to reach out to me and start another family.
Yeah.
Some men have that excuse, because I could be there right now, and I will have valid reason to be there.
Because sometimes you, like you said, if you don't have, if it's not an equal partnership, if the other person's making it hard for you, like sometimes some people's hands are tied. What's up? What do you do? So it's understood how you feel. You know what I'm saying? It's understood where you can feel that way. Like, am I doing enough? Just because you don't have that cooperation from the other party. And again, it shouldn't be that way. When you have children, I feel like when kids were involved, you got to put all the other BS aside. You know what I'm saying? Like, that child is what's important, because y'all two came together, made this child. Okay, despite whether we separate, break up, whatever, doesn't matter. But again, that kid should never be affected. They should always still have those two parents that brought them in this world. The only way that should change is if they pass on. I feel like if you're still living and you're on this earth and you have a child on this earth, you need to make sure that you have that connection with them. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it took you and the other person to make it happen. So, you know what I'm saying? Why are there absentee fathers and mothers out there too? Why is it that way? You know
Absolutely. And by the way, if you guys want to be on this live and share some of your experiences or have like encouraging words or something, in the comment, tell me that you said something, and then I'll find my way over there to just accept it. But this is something I think needs to be talked about. I think that so often we as men and women, we don't talk about it. And I think that we grow up harboring feelings. Gosh, I've seen you. I feel like if you had a consistent male figure in your life, things would be different for you as well. I'm not just saying just you. I'm saying all of us. I mean, you had a beautiful stepdad, and I thank God for your stepdad, and that you love your stepdad so freaking much. But I say for sure for us, there's some things that I know I probably could have tapped into. Like, I've probably been playing basketball. I've probably been heavier in more of the masculine things that I don't understand, or I never had a chance to say that I like or I don't like, because I've never had nobody there leading me in those areas. You know what I'm saying? There's conversations like growing up, my area changing. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom can't answer certain questions about my body.
Yeah.
Right.
She
doesn't have it.
She's not a man.
You know, waking up like this, I can't go say, Mom, why is my like this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are things that you can go to your dad and say, like Dad, like my son, we have candid conversations. And I laugh. I'm like, thank you, God, for allowing me to have that opportunity to just laugh and make fun of him. Like, I share with y'all a comment. I won't say that one line. I don't want to embarrass him. But, you know, when things start to change, you know what I'm saying? You look at the little things, you know, things are changing on my boy. He's getting older. You can suck it off his daddy. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, those things, like, I've never had the opportunity to do, and I find it funny when me and my son talk about that. Like, I remember when he first found out he was cute. Like, he was at school, and mind you, before it was a struggle to get him to take a shower, do all that other junk, right? Yo, this girl was on the phone. She was like, "What's up, Poppy?" And I was like, "Yo, did she just call you Poppy?" And she was like, "Yeah, I told her to stop calling me that. I'm not her mom." And I was like, "Oh, okay, you like that." Right. But like after that, boom, something changed. That boy was up early in the morning washing his, putting on some cologne. Right. I mean, he was
getting it together.
Asking should he wear this sneaker with these jeans.
That's right.
But you know, that's something my father never experienced.
Yeah.
I was always
changing, evolving into a man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He didn't get the pleasure and the privilege to watch.
Absolutely.
And I will tell you, you grew up into a beautiful man.
Thank you.
And I love you very, very much. So I want
thank you, Auntie Eileen.
Yes, thank you, Auntie Eileen.
It's all plastic surgery.
But it's, you have just, like I said, you got all the validation work from me, but you don't need from anybody, but
thank you, bro. You too. Thank you. I look at you and I'm just like, yo, regardless of what, God did his thing on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are a loyal, beautiful, independent, smart, and very driven man. And I don't say that often, and I should say it more, but it's the truth. When I look at you, I'm proud to say you're my brother. There's no little tint that made me like, I mean, we're cool, whatever. Maybe at the same time, like, this is my full blood brother. I love him with all my heart because he is somebody who I can look up to, because even with your love for your husband and your relationship and everything, I look up to that because one day I want to have that. And I'm very proud of you for your marriage. I'm very proud of you for your achievements. Just to hearing your goals of like what you plan on doing and how you plan on moving. I'm a dreamer and I'm an artist and I'm a person who is always creating. And so when I know that we have that connection, that shows how strong blood it is.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have, like, we met each other when we was 14, or whatever age you was. 14. I'm probably 13. And do you hear me? But he's got to do that, the brother, that he can sing. You know what I mean? That lets me know that there's blood there, that he has the same talents, the same. I was so excited. We used to sing in the choir together, and the energy was still popping. You too. Remember that choir? Remember the energy? It was popping. That was a bomb ass choir. How you say that's a bomb ass choir?
Right.
Whatever. What was it? Redeem Praise?
Yeah, Redeem Praise.
Yeah,
Shout out
Praise.
Michael Payne.
No. Shout out! I made some good friends out of there.
Yeah.
Crystal and all those people. Yeah, a lot of people. So anyway, I met some horrible people too.
Oh my God. Can we stay on topic?
Absolutely. I can't help but stay off topic. But yeah, once again, if you guys want to chime in and say something, we won't be up here long. Tonight's not a real, like,
bashment. It's really an expression.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to make that clear because I don't want anybody in my inbox talking about why you were
Hello,
bashing.
Karen. How are you doing, girl? We just talking about your baby daddy.
This is an expression. This is our real life story.
Shut up, Artie.
You know what I mean? And if you can't humble yourself and respect our real life story, then keep your emotions to yourself. Period. Because I'll block you.
Oof.
It's nothing to it but to do it.
Yeah.
Like she said, it's like everybody at this table, we're 30 plus, so again, this is a platform.
Even though I look 21 right here.
No, I see y'all here, Karen.
But
I was telling Karen, I was like, "Come on, baby daddy."
But this is just a platform, and not only for us, and hopefully the people that are watching can listen and take some of these things, take away something from this conversation. Mm-hmm. And again, this conversation is unfortunately a lot of times stuff gets swept under the rug, and people don't know the aftermath of what this does, to your kid, and whether again male or female. So it's great to have a female perspective and have the male perspective, so you can get both sides of it. But it's a tough pill to swallow. Again, we all have our different views on it, but again, we at the end of it, we're all like, hey, we're all adults now, and we know how we want to proceed forward. But it just sucks that we didn't have that foundation. Right. You know what I'm saying? Again, because we think and I thought about it, I'm like, damn, what could have been different in my life if I had really known my dad? Like you said, you could have been a baller. I mean, same for me. I'm not coordinated in sport. I'm not, and I'm 6'6", 400-pound dude. I was a defensive tackle, but I can't catch to save my life. Yeah. But, some of those things. And, my dad, what I'm saying, he did his best. But when you think about, I'm like, dang, even with genetic things, like, are there any illnesses in my family? Where did this come from?
I got the sugar and the salt in my family. Good luck. Sugar, salt, and saison. Like, we got everything.
You know what?
You hear me?
It makes a mix. But it would have just been really nice to know
Absolutely.
where you come from, you know what I'm saying, really knowing inside the family. And I'm thankful, you know, getting to know y'all and the rest of the family because you guys embraced me. So that, I took away a lot more than I thought I would. So I'm happy about that. You know what I'm saying? I am at this point. But, you know, just circling back to what I said.
You know what the beautiful thing is, not to cut you off,
She meant to cut you off.
is that we're at an age that if those parties who are absent in our lives wanted to be a part of our lives, we're alive and you still have the opportunity. So instead of making a focus about what you feel we're saying, because I know that could be the topic, the focus should be, okay, we don't know the full story, you know, we don't know the story why you wasn't here for our 30-something years.
Tell me it.
But let's start now while we still
exactly.
have breath. I mean, the perfect time. We have more time on our hand now because our world is kind of paused with what's going on with
It's
the
a good
COVID.
time.
You know, you can't say that you're super busy, and even if you are super busy, you know, take the time and just humble yourself first, and then let's have the conversation. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I came across my sperm donors, children online. I did, I'm sorry, I shouldn't even call them that. They are my sisters. And I did my part by reaching out to them. And they blocked me.
Wow.
And it kind of like, for a while I was just like, damn, like, you know, I'm trying because I don't know the steps to take. You know what I mean? But I'm doing my part and trying to see how, yes, all this time has passed away, you know, but where can we go now? I would love, I'm sure I have nieces and nephews that I don't even know. I have a whole side of family that I don't know. Period. Like, I seen my father 3 times in my life, and the 3rd time I can't even count because I was in a coma.
I remember that.
So it's like, where can we go from here?
And it's funny you said it because it says, K-Young Hunter said, do you feel hearing the story will shape who you are now?
I don't know how I
Oh,
would
there's some
feel.
good stuff going on in here too.
I don't know how I would feel because, you know, I can say I would feel a certain way before it happens, but then being in a moment, you know, being in that moment changes everything for you. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would feel.
I really
I
want
would
to.
appreciate to feel, you know, hear it though.
Sorry to cut you off, baby, but I really want to hit this because Karen, who's a wonderful person, she's the mother of my siblings.
Yes.
She says, nice to see you all together now. Got to add a few more. And I had a comment, and then she said something else. She said, well, Kobe is only 18, which is my little brother. Only 18, wow. And saying what I hear from him, he thinks you older siblings, relatives, are like his father. Don't get me wrong, he says that Corey and Jessica and Terry are too. That we're like his father? What does that mean? So that means that we're distant?
Yeah, Karen, can you kind of you know, give us a little more, go in depth on that one? I mean, does he think
That makes me feel so bad.
Yeah, right. Like
That makes me feel like crap.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing too, and which also has to do with the father.
Yeah.
I didn't know about Kobe until maybe he was 5 or 6 or something like that. I didn't know about Kobe. And then oh yes, wow. Okay, thank you, Karen. Like that makes me feel bad. I have Kobe's number. I reached out to Kobe several times, never got a response. Corey responds to me every now and then. So it's kind of hard. My dream is to have like me and all my siblings together, taking a picture, loving each other. And Karen, please don't take this in like the right respectful way, because you know I mess with you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But like even with my sister Jessica, it's like she had emailed all 3 of us, and she said we are not her relatives. We are not her siblings. Do not tag her or anything. Do not talk to her. And that hurt me as well.
Same.
So
never lost love for her.
no, of course, my little sister. That's my little sister. So I just I would love, and hopefully this brings the opportunity for us all to get together and talk.
I think where that comes from is a lack of communication.
And that's true
because
too.
when you have lack of communication, you're guessing,
use your mind to
you
wonder.
know, they probably think y'all had a relationship with your father. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, but I think when there's a lack of communication
Absolutely.
all the way around, we kind of make up in our head, like, I'm love to make up things in my head about, you know, the sisters that I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that it could be the same way for y'all.
That's true. I'm trying to get to some chaos, and perhaps as individuals, we're just hard on ourselves. Perhaps the effort is being shown. And you said something else earlier too. Do you feel like hearing the story will shape who you are now? So hearing the story of like why your dad has not been around, will that shape who you are now? That's a good question, Keon. Do you think like if your dad sat down and talked to you like, hey love, here's what really went down, or here's where I was?
I mean, it's obviously not gonna, I wouldn't say it will reshape, but it will put things into perspective. And sometimes just having that closure, you know, that closure is enough. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not, we can't get back the missed time, but at least if I can get that closure and that understanding, you know what I mean? Just let's start the dialogue.
Yeah, exactly.
Period. I mean, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. You know I made mistakes.
Absolutely.
I'm sure as, you know, parents, they made mistakes. But let's at least get the dialogue going.
That's why I love Karen.
What she say?
Right. We love you too, boo.
What she say?
She says, I try to make it happen. I'll try to make it happen, but he won't listen to me. I'm sorry to hear about Jessica. You are right, Kasha. But things that they see and don't see all stem from their father, Reggie. So the good thing about this video is that now they can see. So let me just say real quick, and you can show them. I want you. Got my mom in here, and I got Karen in here. Both my moms. All right, perfect. Hey, Justin, that's my brother-in-law, right?
Yes.
His last name should be changed, though.
Get
Get it together, Justin. Why is your last? Oh, sorry. Go back to what I was saying. Message to my siblings. To Colby, Corey, and Jessica. Let me say this, and then you can say whatever you want to say. I absolutely love you with all my heart. Okay. I have never had a chance to get to know you, Colby. I've always wanted to meet you. I always wanted to be in your life. I am your big brother. I am 33 years old, and I can show you and teach you a lot of stuff. I'm glad that we follow each other on Instagram, but that's about it. I know you may not want to talk to me, but I won't stop communicating with you. I won't stop texting you or hitting you up on Instagram because I want to get to know you. I shared with your brother Corey, our brother Corey, if y'all wanted to come out, I'll pay your ticket. I want to see you. I want to hold you. I want to hug you. I want to give you some love. I think it would be smart for us as siblings to just get out of whatever state we're in and come to one place and build that relationship because we all have our own things going on. I don't know a damn thing about you. I want to know everything about you. And to Jessica, girl, I know you. I don't know you. I don't know you close. I don't know you close. But we spent some time together as children, so there's no way that you can deny me as your brother. And so when you sent that email, that did hurt me. It hurt all of us. We had a long conversation about it. We all cried. But at the end, y'all here in these streets giving them life, do that. That makes me happy as a brother saying my sister out here in these streets killing the game. You know what I'm saying? So I love you. Nobody cares about you because we love you. Okay, we talk. But the other two, I really want to get to know. I really want to get to know you guys. You know what I mean? So
same for me. Like it would be amazing for all of us to get together. And I want to personally apologize, you know, for not doing much more reaching up than I should have because I'm the oldest of all of them.
he's really old.
I'm a year older.
Oh my God.
I'm the youngest of them. No, I'm not. Damn. Hope you got that.
Right. But you know, again, I think just, you know, again, and just with that question of, you know,
is this clear on your phone?
Yeah.
I always told Reggie that he was but actually
Yes, dear, you said that. Yes. And,
I know that's right.
True. But it is true. So, and I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm honest with myself. So I know I need to do better. But you know, again, I want to break that cycle of, you know, again, everybody's in 25 different places and us not knowing each other because in today's society we have email, we've got text, we've got Snap, we've got IG, so there's no excuse. So, you know, this is an opportunity not just for our siblings, but again for us being 30-something right now, you know, for the guy that gave us life. If you want to build a relationship truly, okay, let's make some effort to do it. Just know we can't get back what's happened 30 years ago. Mm-hmm. But we can start from where we are now as adults. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be I can't sit on your lap. You can't give me the birds and the bees.
But you can definitely buy me any gifts that you want to buy. I am more than
oh God.
But I'm gonna read this. My sister's forcing me to read my mom's comment. Said, Mom said, you are a wonderful father. Your brothers have grown to be great men. Other brothers. You should be both. You should let both your parents know how you felt and feel. You may have to agree to disagree, but it's all good to kind of point it out there. Well, I definitely let you know how I feel. I don't know why you laid down with him, but I know y'all together, whatever the case is. And then, see, that's the shady part. I need to get over.
Yeah.
I need to stop that.
Stop.
I need to stop that. Okay, stop. Boop, boop, boop. I take that back. So
We're on a new page.
We're on a new page. We're new page in it. So boom, Ma, I definitely talked to you about it. I've tried to have several conversations with Reggie, but at the end of the day, he doesn't know how to take serious conversations because he gets in his feelings, he gets emotional, he starts to get angry, and then it just ends up not being good. And then I have his same traits because I have an attitude problem. I get angry, I get loud, and I get stubborn. So it's like those things that naturally I get from him, they come out and we clash. So I think it would take more of a more mediative type of environment that would allow that conversation.
A glass table.
Like this, or going to a therapist, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Sitting down with, having family counseling.
Sharing.
So,
nigga, I'm trying to read all my comments. Y'all just commenting today.
What?
Karen says family is everything. I won't be here one day, but I pray that all of you come together one day.
And I know that we will. We can.
We will.
And we're the oldest, and we have to pay our money. We'll do what we got to do and make sure that our younger siblings get their way. And I would love to plan something. I mean, we all have our own places. There's no reason why we can't.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all, again, it takes just planning a couple phone calls. We can all meet up in one destination, but it can happen. And I think it's time. Again, with everything happening in this world, when all you have to fall back on is your family. You want to know that. I want to know every facet of my family. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to leave this earth with any unknown or what could have happened if why I didn't have a relationship with this brother, this sister, this cousin, whatever. So yeah, I'm open to anything. Even sitting down talking with the man that gave me life, and again hearing from the beginning how all this happened, where we are now, and how we can proceed forward. I would like that actually. The more I sit and think about it, I really would like that. At first I was like, I'm indifferent, but honestly I would like to hear my what happened up to this point and how things went to the wayside, but how can we build now and go forward and truly have a genuine relationship?
I think that's the most important part.
Do you know what's interesting? I did not know that Kobe felt that way. I thought, and we talked about this morning, because Kobe, what you don't know is that your father has pictures of you, Corey, and Jessica throughout his entire house. And so we thought, well, in my mind, because I know that Corey and Dad has a relationship together. I know that he's cool with him. So I'm thinking because he was over there more as a child and also throughout back and forth that, he would have a relationship with Kobe. And I feel so bad that Kobe's in the same place. That's your youngest kid who looks just like your son.
And that's shocking to me because I thought, that was the three peas in the pie.
Do you hear me? I thought that was a real family.
But then that goes back to communicating, and Kobe, we apologize. So if you're listening to this, Kerry, you can get this message to him, get our number so we can exchange them, so we can start to build a bond together. So I'm sorry you feel that way, my brother, and I hope to hear from you soon. So you got my Facebook, and Kerry, you have my number too. So
Ty, why did you delete that comment? You said, is there any tips for others who are in your shoes asking for a friend, but you're asking for yourself? So,
hey, just read the comment.
No, this is talking about yourself.
You gotta be extra.
Right. Dang. The extra black lobbies that's not needed.
No, it's my sister. I'll say don't do what I did. I have been extremely upset with him, and I let that anger fester throughout a lot of my life, and I treated people really mean because I was scared of people failing me. So I had times in my life where my father would say he's going to be someplace and do something, and then he'll never show up, but I'll see him at Washington Park playing basketball with other people. So when people say somebody tell me they're going to do something and they don't do it, I end up cutting them off. I end up not talking to you because it reminds me too much of the trauma.
Yeah.
What I would say is learn how to forgive and pray to God to give you that forgiveness, because with that forgiveness is going to be your key to happiness and to being able to express yourself in a different light. I had to learn how to truly forgive. I know I make jokes. You guys know I'm sarcastic. I'm sometimes very direct. But I have forgiven my father. You know what I'm saying? Because if I didn't, I wouldn't have been at his house last week. You know what I'm saying? So I forgave him, but there's still some things in there that just lets me be like, I wonder why.
It's a lot of questions.
I got a lot of questions. Yeah. So what I would say, people learn how to forgive, because when you forgive and you completely let it go, because I did not let it go until I was 21. When you completely let it go, you live so much freer, and you start realizing how some of that hate started to damage your relationships with people.
Yeah, and it's unknown. Let's say it's a root. It's a root that
the seed is planted.
It's planted,
yeah.
and you do stuff and you don't even know why. You know what I'm saying? You do it. You don't know why.
Right.
You know, like for me, you know what I'm saying? I'm a very loving, nurturing person. Like I said, my dad, Howard Lawson, has been there for me. But again, I know that once I knew that there was another part of me, that yearning was there. So that's why I'm so loving and want to love on people and give them what they need. And you okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm a very nurturing person. You know, and my mom is like that too. But I mean, and it comes from that. You don't want to make sure that that I'm present for people. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to let people down because again, this was a letdown. You know what I'm saying? I made after making an attempt. You know, and it's like I got let down the little time we did have together. It's sad. Same thing for me. You know, made promises unfortunately you couldn't keep. And you did the dance in front of people. Then it's like when we were separated. It's like
what I hate? No, not do that. Not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. I was about to go up. This is that start. So Nina says he was with my dad, Reg. Absolutely. So they would play basketball together. Nina's dad and my dad would play ball together, and
never knew that.
oh yeah, because they're all from the same hood. They all was raised together in the same hood. My mom and like all of them lived in the same hood. Yeah. So imagine like watching Crooklyn, that neighborhood. That's what Boston used to look like. Mm-hmm. And so that's exactly the environment like this. Hanging out, watching the park. Everybody went to the same high school. Everybody messed with the same people. It was the drug era. It was the era of the fast, convertibles and things like that.
Convertible.
The square ones. I'm talking about the cars. I'm trying to give you a visual.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Cadillac convertibles. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you what people's cars people have. No money for real. Thank you, sis. I love you. But in reality, so Nina, she had to deal with the same thing because her dad was not there. There's no way around it. So like I said earlier, we just all go through the same. It's a cycle that I wish would stop. I'm not saying you need to be married to the person that you have a child with. If it doesn't work out, but you just don't work out. Right. But build relationships with the parents. Build those relationships. Because honestly, it starts with the parents. Yeah. And I know for sure that my mom has always been open to my father being around. My father just never stepped up to the plate.
But see, being devil's advocate, your mom has been open to allowing your father to have a relationship.
True.
What about the women that's petty and still bitter? Not saying that my mom is that way. I'm speaking for general. That's petty and bitter and uses their children as tools, thinking that, okay, I'm not gonna let you see him, you can't be in his life. And it's all because you're still being petty and bitter. And that could be stories and cases. We don't know.
Come on, practice babies, Artie. So we were the practice babies. Absolutely.
Right. So it's like, that's why I said the communication is key. Yeah. Because there's a lot of females that use their children as pawns. Like, I'm not going to let you see him because you ain't give me no money. I don't need to give you money if I'm taking care of my child. Right. And if I give you money, it needs to be spent on my child. Right. But don't use your child as a pawn.
Right. Because that's not fair.
Right.
That's not fair. And I brought that up earlier when we were talking about it. That pisses me off because again, kids don't ask to be brought into this world, parents. Right. They don't ask to be brought into this world. We as adults make those decisions whether they be thought out or not. Mm-hmm. But we've got to stop using these children to get back at the other person. It's not fair to the kids and it affects those kids. Mm-hmm. So you really got to stop that. Y'all have to come to some type of common ground. Understand that y'all are tied together by this child. So you've got to figure out a way. Look, we have to coexist with each other. for this child's sake. Let's make sure that although we might not love it, we might not like each other, you know, as a couple, but remember we have a little one that we have to take care of. So look, you don't gotta say shit to me if it ain't got nothing to do with, okay, you coming to practice, you coming to pick them up, I need diapers, I need this. Well, let's, you know what I'm saying, hey, we got a PTA meeting, let's coexist with this child.
That's the sad part.
But that's the thing, and parents gotta learn. You can't. That's selfish. You can't sit there and think about yourself when you have a child involved. You know what I'm saying? You got. Oh well, you know, you calling me, you know, trying to get over your baby mama. Oh well, I want to see. Well, nah, he don't want to see you today. He don't want to talk to you. I let him talk to you when he's ready. This nigga's 6.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. You know what I'm
and
saying?
then
Put
allow
all
your
that pettiness
child
aside.
to be a child. Don't paint the picture of the other parent to the child. You know what I mean? Because I see females do that, like your daddy ain't shit.
Right.
Why would you do that?
Ill. Yeah.
You know, why would you do that? Let your child be a child and you be the adult.
Right.
Because you don't want that as the parent.
Right.
No.
You know, like my mother never did. That's one thing she said. She never once said anything negative. She's like, you need to know for yourself. She's like, what I'm gonna say about you, I still have to take care of you, but I mean, me bashing him wasn't gonna do anything for you.
Absolutely.
So she's like, I don't want to put him in that light.
Absolutely.
I want you to know him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it doesn't make sense, y'all. So I mean, we really need to break that cycle. You know what I'm saying? As far as having these deadbeat parents that want that, just y'all battling against each other, they're using this child, and then y'all understand again how it affects children. We gotta stop that.
Into their adulthood.
Whew. This has been a lot.
Heavy.
Yeah.
This has been a lot. I want to make sure we get everybody's comments, and we're gonna call it a night. It's so good to hear how mature you have all become. Hello, my other son Reggie and my niece Love. Karen did say something, and I hear you. I'm not gonna read all that because I read it. I don't want Kobe to be closed-minded to possibilities, and I understand he's 18. He's grown. He don't need nobody. I was 18 and I was grown and I was ready to move out of my house. But at the end of the day, we're still blood.
Either way you slice it.
Anyway you look at it, man.
And y'all look alike.
Right.
You ain't got no bottom lip, I ain't got no bottom lip. Okay. And we all got these eyebrows. So at the end of the day, Carlos said hi love. Carlos, the same guy that, you know.
You're so petty. You stick to the topic.
I did. Hey cousin, good night. This is how I see you. Good night.
But I don't know anybody out there have any other questions, anything they want to share? You know, any same situations?
I mean, I feel like we covered a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're good.
Yeah.
And I really want to say, hey Tatiana, I just want to say that thank you guys for watching. This was a lot. I got a little bit of a headache. But we are going to pray out. And I forgot to do that in my last live, but make sure we do it this live. Because there's so many things that popped up that I just need God to heal. I need Him to fix. And I need God to heal and fix. Okay?
He'll do it.
You know what I'm saying? I know He will.
And the takeaway is, let's communicate, guys.
Yes.
Period.
Communication is key.
It is key. Y'all want me to pray?
Yeah,
Bishop.
Hands in the word of prayer.
Yes, come on.
I'm not saying.
Lord God, we thank you. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity just to come together and just to talk and release and fellowship and build our relationship as cousins and as brother. God, I thank you for the conversations today that we had with my mother, with Karen, with my sisters, my cousins, and other people that we're having on the live to help encourage and help mold this conversation. Hopefully it becomes a trending thing where people come together and actually talk about these issues. I'm asking right now that you heal the hearts of every mother who has to deal with fathers who are not around. Every mother who has to be strong and teach young men how to be men and young women how to be women without having the love of their dads around, God. I'm asking right now that you protect them and you watch them. I'm asking that you heal the hearts of the fathers who are not present inside their children's lives. I'm asking right now that you allow them to start to reevaluate their decisions and their choices and their methods of teaching and their methods of being fathers, and allow them to know that they are important, even if they messed up in the beginning, that there's always a way in because of the love and the blood that is spawned throughout the bodies of their children. I'm asking right now, as we hold each other's hands, that you heal our hearts. You heal our hearts, you allow us to forgive completely and truly Be open to anything that's new, Father. Be open to what you have in store for us. We don't want anything that's going to hinder us from our destiny and from our goals and from our visions. And if that is one thing that may hinder us from where we got to go, we ask right now you take it out of our hearts. In the name of Jesus. Oh God, I stand right here with an open heart and open mind, Father. I'm asking right now that you allow us to take this conversation, meditate on this conversation, talk more about this conversation, and share this conversation so that people are able to really see the insides of what it looks like to be raised without a dad. Thank you. Thank you for the healing. Thank you for the conversations about our siblings. God, we pray that you mend those relationships right now. We ask that you mend that relationship, that you allow us to be not just siblings and people who share blood and see each other from a distance on Instagram and Facebook, that you allow us to have a true relationship, a true love, unconditional. That you allow us to build that friendship and that trust in those moments where we laugh and have inside jokes. I'm asking that you do all of these things because we know that you can.
Yes,
Oh God, we love you and we praise you through everything. Through all the things we said, through all the anger, through all the hurt, all the laughs, all the jokes, all the sarcasm, God, we still love you, we still praise you. And we thank you for this moment right now. And we hope that our father, Reginald Eason, has the opportunity to watch this and see exactly where his children come from. Because we love him just as much as we love you, Jesus. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
All right. Good night. We off this. We'll turn this off.
Good night.
Bring Taylise. Are you there, Taylise? Let me see. How do I do that? I think it's too late now, boo. Just long-winded, right? Like Granddaddy. Just like Granddaddy. I don't care. Shoot. Dang, Taylise, I wish you could have got on. If I could get Taylise on, that would have been dope. Man, Taylise, where'd you go, boo? All right, I'm going to get off because you're not popping up. Or is there a way I got to do it on here? Nope, I don't know. All right, bye.